Bishop William M. Bromley felt pleasure in being able to say that the greatest wish of his heart was to have the fellowship of the Holy Spirit and of the faithful. The hand of God had been over this people. It was but 70 years since Joseph Smith, an illiterate youth, declared that the Father and Son, in form and shape like unto man, had appeared unto him and announced that no denomination was worshipping aright. This was an assertion to the effect that the religions of the world were not worshipping that being who made heaven and earth. Since then, thousands of people had gathered in one in obedience to the command of the Almighty. The gospel, as delivered to the prophet of the 19th century, unfolded great and comforting truths. We learned from it that all the endorsing family had formed here would be renewed in eternity. We should be a happy people. We had to pass through trouble. What of that? The object of which we were in pursuit would compensate for all. We had seen Brother Snow, who now presides over this conference, in prison, and never heard him complain of his lot. He was always cheerful, and his words were wise and instructive. Those who go to prison for the gospel's sake are sustained by the Spirit of the Lord. He came to Utah when a boy. There were not, at the time, the conditions to offend the moral sense that exists now. These corruptions and allurements had not been introduced by the Latter-day Saints. The principles they have espoused are opposed to evil of every shape. Intelligence and virtue form the groundwork of exaltation in the presence of God. It is the principles incorporated in the Church of Christ which has brought the thousands of people who throng this building together with one common impulse. The speaker showed the necessity of the saints sustaining their friends in preference to giving support to their enemies. Next to his religion, he prized the Constitution and institutions of the government of this country. His religion taught him to venerate them. The power of the Latter-day Saints is not waning. There are many thousands who have not bowed the knee to Baal, and never would. He testified that the Church had been established by divine revelation and commandment.